Yeah, we probably shouldn't blow all of our talk about Capcom right now, or unless we want to do it twice, because I'm happy to do that as well.
We can still
no
talk
difference.
about Capcom. Yeah.
There's so much to say, and I mean, and you know, we do have like one or two series. I'm trying to think of a second series which is worth it from Capcom at the moment. But even if we don't have all of those, we have Platinum Games on our side as well.
Oh God, please! How come we can't get another Beautiful Joe? I know that's what I'm saying now. Platinum Games, which it went through Clover, it went through Capcom, it went through Grasshopper.
Yeah, they were all like the dudes at Capcom, the people who made Capcom, and then they left to make Clover, and then they moved on to Platinum Games.
Well, I have a question about that. They made Capcom through the PS1 and PS2 era, right? But not before, or do we know about that?
I don't. What was? I remember there was a Mega Man game that was on the way for the 3DS or DS or something in the eShop.
Yes, Mega Man Legends 3, I think.
Yeah, and
that's the one. That was a huge mistake from Capcom.
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. I don't know where he is working at the moment, but I know that he got the can from Capcom as well.
Mm-hmm. People think that. Do you know that in Tekken versus Street Fighter, you can play with the old Mega Man, the one from the awful cover art from the Nintendo games, the Mega Man 1 and 2 guy.
That was so bad.
People think. I mean, I don't know if it's an actual rumor or just people talking crap, but that this was Capcom's way of like giving the middle finger to Inafune.
Really?
Yeah, we love Mega Man too, the older one.
Yeah.
Huh.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we've already
That took long. I'm trying to find that picture from the early 90s, the Nintendo cartoon cavalcade or whatever the hell it was called.
Captain N.
With Do the Mario, yeah, all the Captain N cartoons. There's this one picture of Mega Man from that where his eyes are pointing in opposite directions.
Yeah.
I think it may be the mascot for our podcast.
That'd be pretty cool. I think we'd get like 4chan too excited. They'd get angry.
Yeah. They'd want to
I'm talking about, like, I tell you something that irritates me about Capcom now is that, man, their freaking difficulty just used to be so freaking amazing. Like, even as a child, I would replay Ghosts and Goblins over and over and over, no matter how many times I died in a graveyard. You know what I'm saying? Just to see if I could make it farther. And then, just take now, for example, everybody's all hot about, just say like Marvel versus Capcom.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever try to play that game online, it's horrific. And everybody's like really excited about it. I mean, I played it online. I have it for the 360, and it was. I don't even know how they ruined it so bad. I have Tekken Tag 2 for the Wii U, and yeah, there's some characters on there. I think every character has a spammable move, but if you just sit back and watch, you can eventually block it. It's pretty fair. But I felt like in the Marvel versus Capcom,
you can't block
their
Sentinel.
spammable moves. Yeah, their spammable moves are like unblockables. And I don't know, man. It was just, I don't know. They've just went downhill so far.
Mm-hmm.
For no apparent
expected so many things after the second one. Marvel Capcom 2 was pretty great.
Well, that third one was trash. I don't care what nobody says about it. I played it. I bought it. I bought into the hype. Bought into it hook, line, and sinker, no problem. And, I was like, man, this would be a good fighting game online. No.
Well, I think I don't have a full opinion on it because I played it when it barely came out, but I haven't played the Championship Ultimate Turbo Edition or whatever. So that may be a much better Marvel Capcom 3. But I haven't played it, and I'm not going to buy it. $60 for that,
Yeah, I can't subscribe to any Turbo Mega Hyper World Collection editions of fighting games.
You know what I will buy,
Right.
though? I will buy Dragon's Dogma Ultimate Championship Edition. That one is going to be so good.
I got Dragon's Dogma.
You got it. How do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It's a good game.
It is.
Actually, I liked it as much as... Actually, I probably liked it better than I did Skyrim.
That's gonna get us a lot of flames on N4G.
Well, which that's fine with me. Once I did the Thieves Guild, I did the Mage Guild first because I wanted to be a mage, the College of Winterhold. And I did the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, the Companions. I went and done the Derelict Quest. I done the main quest. And everybody talks about it being this big open world, which it is. But after about 40 hours, it's probably the biggest, most boring. I don't know. I just wasn't impressed.
Yeah, I've had issue with the Elder Scrolls series since Morrowind, really. Actually, it's just because I think they build a fantastic world around you. It's huge. There's tons density of quests and things. But the huge problem is I find the combat so archaic and clunky.
Yeah.
And when the core of a game isn't solid, isn't fun, then sticking more and more stuff around it doesn't make it better.
I agree with you 100%. That's more kind of the motto that I stick to. You can have the most beautiful game in the whole wide world, and it's a beautiful game. But if it plays like crap, you're not going to come back and probably play it again. But you can have a decent looking game, but if it plays absolutely solid, it is a game that you'll continue to play forever.
Yeah.
You know what? I haven't played Skyrim or Oblivion for that reason, because I understand that if I get into the role playing, I get into the world, the characters and stuff, then I will really love the game. But the combat, just how bad it looks, is enough to keep me away from it. It's enough to tell me to wait until it's $20 on Steam.
That is a huge shift in the mentality. Steam has created this massive shift of mentality in gamers. Everyone will just wait until there's a sale, and that's why the sales go nuts. But yeah, it's got to hurt the bottom line.
The one that blows my mind the most, even a year and a half ago, I had to tell Menash, dude, you have to get Dead Space 1 and 2 right now because you can get both games for $5 on Steam. Right now, $5 for both games.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's insane.
I paid full price for both of them, and I didn't regret that purchase at all.
No.
Me either. Even with Dead Space 3, I don't regret it at all. It's a good game.
I looked at it today, Jude. I looked at it today, Alex, and freaking... I'm going to wait for it to go on sale.
No, you are wise to do that. But if for people me that I already bought it, I don't feel much regret about it.
Right.
It expands on the story. I was watching my brother play it last night actually while I was playing Dead Space Extraction just to refamiliarize myself with it.
Oh, Dead Space.
And the stomping is ridiculous and it's the necromorphs move so much faster and it's very, very actiony.
Oh my god. That I don't know if they did it on purpose. I don't know if it's only on the higher difficulties, but necromorphs are so fast. They are so faster now, even faster than they were in Dead Space 2. It's too much, and it becomes a problem when you have 15 of them at the same time trying to overwhelm you.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But I think
it still is some good fun, in my opinion. You still have a lot of strategy. You still have to make sure you have the right weapons, that you position yourself correctly, that you do stasis at the right time. It's got all of the same stuff. It's just a faster pace.
Yeah. It's because they can't keep relying on the same jump scares once they're 3 games in.
Yeah.
Can you not, though? I mean, because I could go back and play Dead Space 1, and I would say that I'll probably be standing in the same corners for about 2 minutes waiting for something to jump out at me, as I probably did the very first time that I played it. So, can it truly not work, or was it just that environment that they created in the first one was so utterly amazing and terrifying at the same time that they just can't replicate it?
Well, I think the problem is, especially with EA, well, not especially with EA, with big publishers, is when you're spending more and more on games as you go through a series, like, Dead Space 3 clearly cost more to develop than Dead Space 1.
Right.
You also have to, like, put growth on growth. So you have to grow your user base, the people who want to play the game. So you have to appeal to a wider and wider audience. And so they're going to have to diverge away from focusing so much on a genre.
I was talking about that recently. Let me just say this quickly because I think it's a good idea.
Go ahead, Al.
That you have this thing with the big developers, big publishers, where they create a new IP, and it's a really good game. I know the obvious example is Dead Space 3, right? I mean, Dead Space, the first one. They create a game that is sort of like it's a solid genre. It's survival horror. It's all these things, and it's so good that they develop a cold fan base, right? They have a fan base they love it. They can't wait for the second one. But the second one's going to cost more money, so what does EA do? They decide to broaden their audience.
Yeah.
Which means that the fan base of the first one becomes alienated, and they don't buy it anymore. So they don't make money. It's a catch-22, sort of.
Yeah, it's a risky run. You have to change it just enough, but not too much.
Well, I was just sitting there thinking, I mean, the question I was going to ask before you said that, Alex, was... are they ignorant to listen to the fan base? Or are they ignorant to listen to the people to make a second one? Is it worth it?
I would hope it is. I mean, the fan base doesn't really ask for much. They ask for the same stuff. They don't ask. They like the fan base didn't want all those Call of Duty moments. They didn't want stuff crumbling around you, and they didn't want giant aliens tossing you in space and you shooting all the appendages. They didn't want any of these like scripted sequences. But the big publisher wanted to do it, and it cost a lot of money, so it forced them to expand their audience, which alienated people. So I would always ultimately blame the publishers. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot. But I don't think they had to, I think they could have gotten away with simply expanding on the same genre, expanding the game mechanics, doing a few things differently, a new interesting setting, a new interesting story, not necessarily changing the gameplay pace or dynamic.
No, I agree with you on that. I totally, you know what I'm saying? I totally get down with that. I couldn't imagine, and it can't be like this now, but I couldn't imagine if Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3 just expanded on the first. Like, what a truly horrifying experience probably Dead Space 3 would have ended up being. Because the first one's, I've never been so scared playing a game in my entire life.
It was refreshing. It was very refreshing.
It was, I mean...
I always felt like it was like Resident Evil 4 if Capcom had actually made it scary.
So, now, I love Resident Evil 4. It was
I know you
very
thought
tense.
It was scary.
Yeah. It was very tense. It was appropriate for what it was. You know what I'm saying? And it did never really waver through from the whole entire game. It wasn't necessarily scary, but I did always have something in my feeling that if you screw up, you're going to die.
Yeah, I tell you what, the chainsaw guy, Dr. Santos, Dr. Salvador, that was his name. That guy, you begin the game, 10 minutes in, you see that guy, you think to yourself, this is as scary as Resident Evil has ever been.
Yeah.
But I think they should have had that sort of stuff even more. But at the same time, I did love Resident Evil 4. I finished it like 6 times or 7, I don't know. Like I played it so much.
Oh yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, the sound of a chainsaw is scary.
Yes. Oh my god.
You know, especially whenever it's echoing off in the distance, and you know that that you're gonna eventually meet that.
Oh yeah. When you hear it just destroying the door in the building you're in.
Oh gosh.
That's the best.
It had a lot of epic moments, no doubt, in that game. So anyhow. What else we got, Cubits?
Well, I guess we never actually introduced ourselves, did we? It's something.
No, I mean, we just kind of jumped right in. I was like, dang, dude, what's going on here?
Okay,
I didn't even know we were recording.
I didn't either.
We're always recording. We'll capture everything.
Good.
So what are you going to do, just cut and splice us where you want us?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe we could use that as the lengthy, well, let me just see. That was the 18-minute intro. And
hey, that's good. That's like literature. You cut right into the action.
Exactly,
That's
and then
right.
you jump back, and then we go back to the start.
You know, you have
That's right.
like we kill a boy, we kill a little girl or whatever, and then we introduce ourselves. I am El Sombrero.
Oh, yes. Love it. Well, go ahead, Charles. Kick it off.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to the Nintendo Enthusiast podcast. If you've been tuning in for the last 18 minutes, you probably have no idea what was going on. My name is Charles Duffield, aka Cubits, and that's it's a nickname which I got off of a jar of cucumber relish in 1995.
Nice.
Cool.
Why don't you take turns here as well? We'll just get this out of the way, and then we'll move back to what we were doing.
Okay, I guess you go next, Matt.
All right. My name's Matt Costello. If you come to the Nintendo Enthusiast, you visit our forums, you'll find me on the boards as Mattavelli1. I've had that nickname since I was in high school. It was given to me by my friends. We was listening to a lot of Tupac at that time, and the 7-Day Machiavelli's actually tape at that time had come out, and one of my buddies threw Machiavelli at me, and it stuck, and I've used it on the internet ever since. So, anyways, big time Nintendo fan, loving the Nintendo Enthusiast, being here with these fine fellas, and I guess that's about all I got.
I always thought it was Costello.
You know what? Anywhere but where I live at, it's Costello. It seems like even I live in this county. Everybody here says Costello. The place where I live, the place where I work at, they say Costello. So, you know what I'm saying? Anyway,
yeah, you can be either. Yeah.
I'm a mix of Matt.
So I go. I am Alejandro Valderas. I typically just go by Alex ever since I came to the U.S. Let's see. I've always played Nintendo. That was pretty cool, but I always liked most. I think I liked everything. I don't think I ever was so much of a fanboy, except when arguing with like a friend in middle school about the PS2. But other than that, I'm fine with everything. I have a gaming PC right now. I have 360, the Wii U, the Wii, 3DS. I'd get a Vita if I had the money. So, let's see. On the website, I go.
I think that was Sony's big problem with the Vita.
Yeah. The price.
No one had the money.
So on the website, on the forums, I go as Juegos Mágicos, misspelled with a J on purpose. So other than that, I think that's all about me. We can just go on with the combo.
That was excellent.
All right. Onward and upward.
So now we begin.
Now we begin. And I think
now for the rest of the story.
Yeah. let's go back to the start. Why not? We'll talk about launch games. The launch games that we've been playing, that we played through, that we paid for on day one without ever touching, and see how we went with those.
I'll go on and kick this off. I went on and put my as soon as GameStop said that they could take the Wii U on pre-order, I went on and pre-ordered my Deluxe, which came with Nintendo Land. Also, at that time, I bought a Pro Controller, and then I got Zombie U, Tekken Tag 2, Mario, and Call of Duty Black Ops. Definitely most of my time right now has been spent playing Call of Duty Black Ops with Charles, Alex, quite a few more guys from the website. But I have a blast with Tekken Tag 2. I've had a lot of fun with it online. Actually got a competition thread started on the message boards on Nintendo Land. Just got out of hand quickly with how big the scores were being racked up. And then me and my son demolished some Mario pretty quick, and Zombie U I'm almost finished with, but that one's actually been a pretty tough game for me to get into because it does demand a lot of the user, which is a great thing. It's a great game. I love it. I wouldn't discredit it. It's just tough for me at times to get through, especially whenever there's more social online games out there. But other than that, that's what I've been rocking at launch.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing Black Ops 2 with you all this time. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually, how much we play it. Practically, I'd say 5 times a week. The best thing is that, like, we often fill up the entire team. We're always playing 6 people from, a bunch of friends against some random guys. So, that's the best feeling, because it's, like, so hard to lose when we're all communicating.
You feel bad for the other team a lot of the time.
Yeah, and they complain so many times. Like, we had people like, "Oh, no wonder I'm playing against a clan." I'm like, "We're not even a clan. We just play together." But that's pretty good. Let's see. When I got it, the first thing I played, I think, was Zombie U. I played it. Actually, it's an interesting one because I played it with a friend of mine that is like strictly a PC gamer. He has a PS3 that he never plays. And he was really impressed with Zombie U. He was really impressed by the atmosphere, and he was scared when he was playing it. He was terrified. That was, like, to me, that made a huge statement. Like, oh, this guy is like a strict PC gamer. He's like a religious PC gamer, and he loves Zombie U.
Right.
Ever since that day, I think I defend Zombie U so much. It's like people complain about it. I'm like, no, that's just you. Like, some people love it. Let's see, what else? I played a lot of New Super Mario Bros. U, of course. Finished the whole thing. I think I reviewed it for the site.
Did you get all the star coins on that?
Yeah, I had trouble finding some of the warp pipes and that sort of stuff, but I got it eventually. But in general, I don't think I can say much about the game. I mean, it's just Mario, you know.
Oh yeah, it's a fun Mario.
I did play it once in multiplayer with some cousins, and one of my cousins was using the gamepad, and she was just being so annoying, putting blocks everywhere. Like, this one time I was falling down a pit. And I'm good at it, so I can, like, wall jump my way out of a pit after I'm about to die. And she kept putting the right blocks in, just kept blocking me for like 6 seconds, and I ended up dying. I'm like, damn, you're good. And that was the most fun I've had with that game. I think that night was just the best fun I've had with the game. So it's definitely a multiplayer game.
Yeah, it's great for griefers.
Oh yeah. Let's see, what else? I got Nintendo Land, of course. I mostly played Metroid. It was really good. Other than that, not much. I did play the multiplayer that same night. It's so good in multiplayer, but I haven't gotten more of a chance to play it in multiplayer, so I can't talk much about the game. Let's see. There's Nano Assault, which I finished in like an hour and a half, but it was really fun. and Trine 2, which I'm not that fond of, but I can see how fun it is for so many people. But I'm personally not big into it. I want to play it in co-op with people from the side that love it, because I know I love it more than. But it's not something I've stuck with myself.
Right.
I think that's all I have on the Wii U.
Cool. Well, yeah. The first game I got on launch, sight unseen. Well, not sight unseen, but sight untouched. Was Zombie U, and I was a big fan of that one from the get go. I had actually played the original Zombie on the Amiga.
I don't think I've known of anyone ever touching that.
No.
Well,
that's freaking crazy, dude.
You got to talk about that one.
Yeah, it was. Well, these days I can't actually cope with any first-person dungeon crawlers. I can't stand them anymore because I played so many of them at the turn of the 90s. But when Zombie U came out and everyone was complaining about the name of it and stuff, and I'm like, well, actually, it is kind of a sequel, and it does have the same death mechanic which Dark Souls then ripped off. It's Zombie U isn't nearly as a derivative of a game as many people seem to believe. And I had so much fun with that game. I love the integration of other people's corpses. I think that really made it for me. Like the personal touch of bashing in Matt's brains every now and then.
I tell you what was so sorry about my Survivor too. Like, man, I would freaking hoard everything. I wouldn't even shoot a bullet because I was like, I'm going to need this stuff later on. So whenever you did bash in my person, you got like tons of loot.
Oh yeah, it was good. It was always a golden opportunity to come across you.
I killed another user from the board. This guy called Fried Shoes. He gave me like 70 shotgun bullets. He said I was leveling it up. He had it at like max level, his own shotgun.
Yeah. I hated so much that you like when your character died, you lost all of your all the character stat levels. I was like, no. Yeah. Terrible.
That's
but
interesting.
I did actually finish it on survival mode, so it's all right too.
Mm-hmm.
That was a tough slog. I died about 8 times at that one section right near the start where your base gets attacked.
Yep.
Yeah. Until I remembered to pick up the Molotovs in the supermarket beforehand. Spoiler alert, everyone. Don't worry.
You're gonna need to listen into the future to make sure that you get that spoil.
Oh, it's okay. We'll fix that in editing. So that's all good. What else did I get? I got, of course, Black Ops 2, so I could join in with all you guys. And I think finally, like as of like a week ago or so, there's beginning to be a nice parity between the Wiimote users and the dual analog users.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be a lot better now than at the start, where it was a real slog.
Yep.
Just for bugs and things, which they finally got around to fixing. I got Nintendo Land at launch, but I didn't have anyone to play it with, and so I wasn't too impressed. It kind of felt like We Play, like the We Play bundle thing, really, really basic. Like I was playing Yoshi's Fruit Cart, which was fun, but hard to share the joy with.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as I got around to getting 3, I think we had 4 players at one time. I think maybe even done 5 in a couple of them. I can't remember. But that was immense fun. That was way better than any Wii Sports or Wii Play thing. I think for a packing game. Yeah, when you have enough people, it really, really shines. When it's just by yourself, it just feels like a demo, really.
I think that's the problem with Nintendo's marketing, that whenever they did playtesting, they must have had large groups of people, so they don't know what the solo gamer feels like playing this game.
Huh.
To them, they probably saw mostly the groups of 4 or 5 playing these games, like full families playing them, and having such a tremendous blast that they decided to cap off E3 2012 with that, which is awful decision.
I don't think the E3 crowd doesn't tend to line up with the family crowd too much.
No kidding.
No.
So even if Nintendo is right in going for the family market with their console, but not at E3. That's not the place.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, E3 is for the epic, no doubt. You know, that's what the people want. They want the big game. They want the big, you know what I'm saying, wow us, because it is that crowd. That is what you have to do with them.
Yeah. Well, I think, last year's E3, Nintendo was meant to show off retro, and that was going to be the game. That was going to be it. And they've rolled it down. Oh, you go. Go for it.
I had a little thought about that. I mean, I kind of felt like because Nintendo had the last show of the last day, you know, I don't know if y'all remember all of E3 last year, but man, I mean, myself personally, I was very underwhelmed by, you know, PlayStation and the 360. I kind of felt like Nintendo was like, well, screw it, man. I mean, we don't have to you know, show our whole hand either.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened with that one. And I think that now they've saved it for this year. This E3 is going to be the one where Microsoft and Sony come out with, this is what we're doing, here are some pictures of pretty games. And Nintendo's then going to go, oh, we've got, I mean, it could be anything. We've got retro, we've got this game coming out, here, play X, and, we're doing a price drop or something like that. And it's just going to be, they're going to try and close the door on it.
We got Mario, we got Metroid, we have Zelda. Yeah.
All those games you haven't heard about, which you know are coming, a few of them have to pop up at E3.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, no doubt. They've got a lot of, you know, maybe not necessarily for me, but with definitely a lot of people out there just looking around the web, they got a lot of damage control to do.
That is true.
You know, like I said, not necessarily for me, because I haven't enjoyed a console like this in a long time.
So much, yeah.
And I can't really put my finger on it. It's not that it's a touchpad, and it's not that it's just in HD, but it just seems like I'm just having a lot of freaking fun with it.
Yeah. It's not a single gimmick, and I think the detractors who make that mistake. I mean, they made the mistake last time with the Wii when they go, it's a gimmick, it's a fad, it's not going to work, and then it sold 101 million or so now.
Yeah.
And this time around, I think they've backed up. Well, I'll go back. When the Wii launched, Nintendo wasn't in the best financial state. They had just made a risky move with the DS, and it was just paying off. I think it had a very, very slow start. I had like one game for several months. Yeah. And you know, they'd come off of the decline of their two last home consoles. So they put all of their investment into the controller. And that's why it was so technically limited but they couldn't risk a lot of their money in case it bombed again. And this time around, they've come into this console sitting on the biggest pile of money they've ever had. Regardless of profits and losses, they actually had built a whole new building for Nintendo. They'd spent so much money in the last couple of years housing their new R&D developments and bringing everyone together.
Like the Dragon's Mouth in The Hobbit.
Yeah. So, The Hobbit. That was a strange looking movie.
Nintendo is smog.
Yeah, so you're saying, I mean, they had all this money, they had enough to go on to actually do a bunch of separate stuff on the Wii U.
They could bring their innovation that they had last generation and back it up and fill in all the gaps in what was missing in the console experience. And that's why we have things like, I mean, that's never been done before. That's crazy. Yes. Especially for sports, it's just like mind exploding. It's awesome. Miiverse, they said it was going to be the killer app, and everyone laughed at them because it looked like some Twitter feed crap. But it actually has turned out into this awesome community that generates art and is pushing amazing feedback back to the developers as well about their games.
Completely free marketing.
I know it's a little stroke of genius, and it worked really well from day one.
Yes, I agree with that. That freaking art on there, man.
Oh, so good.
I mean, I will sit there and just look at my TV whenever I first fire up my Wii, and I'm like, I mean, I'm just awestruck by it, because there's no way on God's green earth that I'm ever drawing anything remotely even close to what some of these things are being shown.
Yeah.
I mean, they're amazing, and you know what I'm saying? It was just something as simple as having a touchpad that released these people's creativity, and it's showcased right there on my TV, and it could come from where you're at, Charles, where you're at, Jude. I don't know where these people are from, but it's coming from everywhere, and it's awesome to see, because
I know that it is inspiring. Yeah. No, it absolutely is inspiring, because like I don't draw, and I want to learn it, but I can't do it. So it was weird for me when like I saw people talking about the Funky Barn community, and I checked it out. Oh, that was like, I had a good laugh for like hours. So it's such a good community, and I decided to do my own. Like I saw a lot of people doing some creative ones, so I decided to draw a little picture of Daft Punk, and I named it Daft Funk, and I put like in one of the guys' helmet, and in one of them I put Funky Barn, and the other one I put like a little sheep made out of like the LED screen. And I wouldn't have done that otherwise. I would have never done that. And I got a ton of likes. Cool. It was pretty good.
I need to get some more but I mean, I'm just not. To be honest with you, I love Miiverse, and I'll check it every day, but I haven't quite found all the ins and outs to it yet. You know what I'm saying? I just haven't spent enough time with it, though I do love it.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that Nintendo can improve on. Like if they just integrated, what's the name of their other app for the 3DS where people can draw and stuff?
Oh yeah, SwapNote.
So they can integrate SwapNote. They can do all these crazy things, and just, I mean, they already are, I guess, improving Miiverse in one of the upcoming patches. But it's just the potential for it is so immense.
Yeah, they got what was I thinking of? Just left my head. Something about Miiverse. It was very important.
I am so sorry.
It's okay.
It was so important. It just disappeared.
I think it's so important that we might need to push ratings on another podcast in the future.
Right.
If I can remember it.
It was cool. I'll tell you something that I really did like about Miiverse, though. I remember whenever we did the challenge, the Nintendo Land challenge thread on the forums, the scores, whenever I first posted them, we just wanted some base scores, which were, you know what I'm saying, decent. And one of the things was that if your score just seems too outrageous on Donkey Kong, it could be challenged. And if it was challenged, you had to take a screenshot of your score, post it on Miiverse. That way it could be confirmed, and it will be updated on the message boards. An amazing feature, because, I mean, it finally got to the point where every score, you didn't even ask if it was challenged. You just went on and took your picture and put it on Miiverse. I checked it out, updated it on the site. And, you know, I'm not saying that we all can't live by the honor system, you know, but it is nice to have that proof there that, you know, that Bob scored 16,000 points on Donkey Kong, which is, I don't even know. We looked up videos on YouTube and couldn't even find scores that high.
Bob is insane. He is pretty insane.
And then I had a great score on Balloon Trip. I loved it. And then Soul comes along, Solazon comes along and just obliterates it. You know, I mean, he just came in and just absolutely dominated. And so it was, but it was cool because every time they would post something in the thread, hey, I got a new score, I'd check it out on Miiverse. There it was, confirmed. You know what I'm saying? That is an awesome feature.
Yeah. something I wanted to see integrated into Miiverse, I think it would make a lot of people from the other consoles happy, is, they're going to love their achievements and their trophy system. And I think what would have worked quite well is just having like auto-generated notes from a game saying you did blah, or being able to opt in for such a thing.
Huh.
Because then it would keep a timeline of your achievements in games for your friends to see, and they could actually be way more worthwhile than complete chapter 1, get 100 gamer points.
Oh
right.
Yeah. And it also keeps you engaged in it, because I know I personally don't check Miiverse that much anymore. Partly because I added too many friends in Black Ops, so now I don't want to sift through all of that stuff. But also partly because there's nothing calling me back in all the time. And on the other hand, if you had that system built in, Miiverse would be telling me, or if I went to the feed, it would be telling me like, oh, Charles just beat like Zombie U in survivor mode. Congratulate him. I'll be like, holy hell, dude. And that would be that send you a notification, and you'd write back. It wouldn't always work, but it would at least keep you more engaged.
Yeah. I like that idea. I like both of y'all's ideas a lot. That's really cool.
Yeah, the what you said about the Black Ops 2 friends like populating Amiiverse, though, it does raise an interesting point about all gamers think, well, in theory, it would be a great idea to have a unified friends list. But
in theory.
But when you want to just have people to play with on Black Ops 2, and then you want to have like real friends that you actually care about what they're writing and stuff on Miiverse, separate.
All you have to do is filter it out, like Google does with their circles. Like if you add someone in Black Ops, it adds him to the Black Ops circle. If you want to add him to your general circle, okay, go.
Yeah,
but it doesn't do it automatically.
Yeah, I think it would be nice if there was that level of filtering available.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've gone completely the opposite direction from having everything separate to having everything together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't add people on Black Ops.
You are the wisest one. Yeah.
I don't know why I just felt like throwing that out there. It seems like I get like 2 friend requests every single time I play it, and I reject every single one of them.
I steer them away as well, just because I want my Miiverse to be, legible.
Yeah. That's right. And another thing too is I know that we're gonna have more people on the site that are gonna be. I would say one thing about the site is it's full of gamers. These are the types of people that I want to play with. I don't know a random guy on Call of Duty if later on down the road, is he going to buy Mario Kart? Is he going to buy Brawl? Is he going to buy, perhaps a new F-Zero that comes out? Like, is he only going to play Black Ops? I don't know him, so I'm not going to add him.
Right. I agree with that. I just personally add them. I don't know. I honestly don't know. Like, it feels bad to decline them, and I also don't want to see the notification there. So I just like, oh, whatever. But it's a mistake.
Somebody else said that the other day. Somebody else was talking about it, and they said, I haven't had this happen before, but I got a friend request through Black Ops. I told them, I said, reject them. Just reject them. And they said, I don't want to do that. That's rude. And I was like, well, I'm not trying to be, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing. That's just what I do. And they said, well, why do you do that? I said, just the reasons that I gave y'all.
Tell you what, it's rude to send a friend request to someone you don't know, Like, we've gotten some friend requests from people who are cool, who talk through the mic, and they're like, hey, man, you guys are pretty cool. Do you mind if I add you? No problem. Add me. I'll add you too. But when it's just some kid that he like raged in the mic once and then he adds me, like, why do I keep accepting? I should just decline everything. I should delete my whole friends list except for like our administrators at Nintendo Enthusiast.
Charles, we're not even going to be able to take this guy into Black Ops anymore.
What else? We got? Oh, we should talk about Need for Speed now. just because we're recording, and I really want this game.
To get that off your chest.
I have to. I mean, not even just for reasons that, like, I'm a huge fan of Criterion, and I think giving them the Need for Speed franchise is possibly the smartest thing EA's ever done.
Agree.
Because, you know, they were doing their own thing with made-up cars and just making amazing games and gameplay. And then they got Burnout 3, which is, I think, when EA really picked them up properly. And they introduced the takedown system, and that was just awesome as well. Huge explosions and things like that. But now they've come out just recently after being pretty quiet about the Wii U version of Most Wanted. Like, we knew it was coming, and we thought, oh wow, we're just going to get like an EA lazy 6-month port of last year's game. And they're redoing everything. I mean, they've put some of the PC assets in there, some of the big textures and things. They've got that crazy gamepad. It reminds me of the old Game Sharks, you know, just like hacking the game to have a bit of fun.
Huh. That's a cool way of thinking about that, actually.
Yeah, it's meant to be father and son mode, but really it's not going to be. It's going to be friends, like, screwing with friends and I don't know, you know, just people trying to do both things at once. I think that's going to happen a lot as well. Just on the floor, using your toes to get rid of the cops.
No, that sounds amazing.
And it's got a lot of. I mean, they're using all options for abilities to control your cars.
Yeah, I think they're trying to make it as easy as possible for two people to be involved in the game.
Yeah. I think
Let me bring that topic.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you finish.
No, go ahead.
No, because it's a side topic. You have to finish.
Oh, okay. It would be like, what was it? The gamepad, the Pro Controller, the Wiimote plus Nunchuck, was the old school Pro Controller?
I don't know.
Was it usable as well?
Probably. I'm gonna go with yes.
I'm thinking it was too. So, I mean, they didn't just go in and say, okay, gamepad and Pro Controller. That's it. You know what I'm saying? They really went all out for you to be able to control it with any option that you have, which I think another thing, it's kind of got me a little bit screwed up about the third-party situation, because I feel like Nintendo went out of their way to actually integrate any way you want to be able to control from the Wii up. You know what I'm saying? You've got all these possibilities.
They're making it so easy for developers.
Yes. And for them to kind of, what seems like a problem right now, which I understand that we're, you know, almost 4 months in, you know, not no reason to, you know what I'm saying, panic yet. But it's just odd to me that they have all these options for controls, but excuses keep on popping up.
Mm-hmm.
But anyhow, didn't mean to get off on that little tangent, but I was just thinking about how awesome it was that, you know what I'm saying, that the Need for Speed guys actually went out of their way to make it accessible through all controllers.
We could talk about that on our next podcast, the third party situation.
Yeah, and that's cool.
I was going to say, like, I mean, on that day, the same day that Need for Speed releases Monster Hunter 3U Unlimited, or what's the Ultimate, whatever, on Championship Edition. That game, so I know what I'm getting. I'm getting that one, right? And I can't afford to have both. But let's say if I was like on the edge of getting Need for Speed, what would you tell me to convince me?
Okay, I tell you what I'd tell you is look at how many people you're going to have to play with. Look at, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we've already got a lot of guys that have already said this game's pre-ordered. It's day one. So you know that you're not just picking up a game and you're going to be driving around a city by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have a lot of challenges in this game, not only to race against side-by-side against people, but also to, the way I understand it, also race against their ghost if they can't be on the same time that you're on. That would be my selling point to it. Is
so it also has a ghost feature.
this is the way that I understand it. And Charles, yeah, I know you're keeping up with it too, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm a huge SSX freak, so SSX was made by EA, and if you play SSX online on the 360 or the PlayStation 3, I'm not able to race against you and Charles, even if we're on at the same time. What you do is you pick a race, you put a time up, my ghost will go out to you and Charles. So you race against it, and if you beat it, then it will come back to me, and it'll say, your time on this race has been beat by Alex. You know what I'm saying? You want to try it again, and you just keep on going back and forth. The way that I understand it in Need for Speed, I know that you can race with people if they're on at the same time, but there's also, I know that you get medals for your race, and the way that I understand it is if you get a medal, then it goes out to your friends list, and you're the most wanted at that race. So your buddies can come back and race it whether you're online or not, and if they beat your time, then they're the most wanted.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's how it works. They've got a name for that system that they use. Lets you see how all your buddies are doing and everything in all your races. I can't remember what it's called though, but yeah, it's really cool.
I wasn't at first I was like, man, this kind of sucks that I can't race against my friends, and I'm talking about with SSX. But actually, I enjoyed the Ghost system a whole lot better because I didn't have to be on at the same time. I could race it at any time if my scores were beat.
Yeah, that sounds really convenient.
Yeah, and it is. That's basically what it breaks down to. It's really convenient, but there's also going to be times too, Alex, where say you and Charles are all on at the same time. You know, we can do challenges together. We can do races together, and I'm right about that too, right, Charles?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all kinds of options to be able to play and compete.
Yeah, they've also got in addition to like the pre-existing system in the other versions of Most Wanted, they've also got Amiiverse integration. So it's going to be like that pop-up thing that they have in New Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it's going to be like that little bit, like that little extra layer of social interactivity with your friends.
Like a really well-rounded social interaction.
Yeah, like you can post pictures of your taillights to your friends and things.
That sounds
Prepare
cool.
to be seeing plenty of that. Go on and start getting the competitive juices flowing now.
Yeah.
Man, to me that's a problem because it sounds like a game I should get, but like I already said, it comes out the same day as Monster Hunter.
Right.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's fighting for your affections with a game which has like 4,000 hours of content in it. Yeah,
it doesn't feel right. You know, it doesn't feel right. We haven't had that many games to play, like in the first 3 or 4 months of the Wii U, and suddenly we have to make a big choice.
Yeah, I'm making a big choice. I'm buying both of them. I'm not screwing around. I mean, I'm going
that's
after
a life
both of them.
commitment. That's a pretty strong commitment.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, how do I? It's harder for me to think about which one I would pick. So, I'll figure out a way to get them both. I've had Need for Speed. I've had Need for Speed on pre-order for a minute though now.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've had it on pre-order for about 3 weeks. Even before these videos came out, I was buying it. I didn't care.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I'm thinking, that if I buy Monster Hunter alone, I will play it so much, and that, you know, it's going to mean that I'm going to end up really high level compared to other people on the site, depending on the person, which is going to mean that I'm often going to be much higher level than Matt here. So either I'm going to have to create another character that keeps up with him, or I should get also Need for Speed. That way I can divide my time evenly and sort of stay at a good rhythm.
Or you could just kill all the monsters for me.
Yeah.
That's a good one, too. I mean, I have no problem with that.
I would help out a minimal amount. But no, I'll play it more than what you think.
I've never had an issue
I think
with
so. Go ahead.
Being like at a level disparity in Monster Hunter isn't like it's
not
never
that big of a deal.
Yeah.
No, it isn't also because the enemies are always relatively the same difficulty, and you only get better armor and weapons, but it doesn't mean the game doesn't get much easier. It's just you getting good at it.
Yeah, I think that's what historically draws me to the franchise, particularly with Monster Hunter Tri, which was the first one I really like had a proper go at since like a PlayStation 2 one, which I couldn't understand because it's Japanese. You go into the game, you fight the Great Jaggy, and you're like, oh my god, that thing nearly kicked my ass. I'm glad I had all those those herbs and things. I made that through. That's okay. And then you go away and you do like a couple of 100 hours of gameplay, and you come back and you beat the same Jaggy using a starter weapon, no armor, and don't get touched. And you're like, it's just entirely skilled, but you don't feel it developing. It just naturally happens.
Yeah, you become a natural at it.
Yeah, and you're like, wow, when did I get this good? Because every time you go up against a new and harder monster, it feels exactly as hard as the last one did when you first fought it.
Yes. Well, not always. I will have to say, the first time you fight Barriot, the ice dragon thing that moves really fast, that is such a huge wall in the game. To me, that was like, how the hell do I beat this guy? That was like entirely different difficulty spike.
I didn't have so much problem with that one, although I did have a lot of teammates fainting and things. I think the first time you meet Baroth.
Yes, that's a natural one. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just so much bigger than the two before it, and it's like your introduction to it. It's like everything to that point was a tutorial, and now the game's starting. Yeah,
I love it because you have to fight the Great Jaggy, which is fast already because he's like a huge velociraptor thing. And you have to fight the Kurupeko, the bird who flies, so that's a cool intro. And you have to fight what's the other guy called, the water dragon thing?
I think you run away from him before.
Oh no, not the Laggy, not the Lagiacrus.
Oh no, that's right. Oh yeah.
The one with the sponge.
Yeah, the yellow one with the sponge. What am I?
Something with an L. It doesn't matter. That guy. So you fight those three. Guy. He's pretty good because he moves from the water to the land, and it's a cool fight. And so you think you're good at the game when you beat these guys. And then you fight Barrett, and the first thing he does is he runs at you faster than you can run away, like perpendicularly. He smashes you and he kills you, and you can't touch him because your weapon bounces off, and you don't know what you're doing. That is the best thing in that game. And you're like 20 hours into the game already.
Yeah.
I'm very much looking forward. Y'all are getting me pumped just sitting here listening to it.
Yeah, you're going to love it.
Yeah,
I can't wait, man. That's going to be bad. Well, and it's pretty awesome, too, because we're going to have plenty of people to play with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
but
that's the best thing.
Server thing's a little sketchy.
Uh-huh.
You know, but
it's upsetting because like Cubits here, he's from Australia, so like I can't play with him. What?
Right.
But I know you said he was looking into how to forward his things and use proxies and stuff.
Yeah.
You figure out, see if he can trick Nintendo servers.
I think that might be a part of what what part of the problem is this time around. I'm fairly sure that from now on, Nintendo is taking care of all the game servers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I read that somewhere that with the Wii U they'll be taking care of the servers, which means that the good thing is that the game is protected for the life of the console.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be turned off like EA turns off servers every other year. But the bad thing is they do believe in region locking more so than Capcom even did.
Right,
which is awful.
I know it is, and especially when you're building a worldwide community with Miiverse and all those aspects, to then put barriers up is counterproductive.
I would love to see what the Japanese people draw in Miiverse, you know?
Oh, God.
They have to have completely different styles for the stuff they draw. I mean, they're Japanese.
You can.
Oh, yeah.
You can set your Miiverse to worldwide.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah. So
you can edit that part out.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, have you seen in Miiverse as well? They introduced the Zelda community just because everyone's drawing Zelda in every other community.
Oh, yes, I haven't seen it.
It's up to like 28,000 years, and it's been open for about 5 days, a week.
Yep. It hasn't been out very long at all. I noticed it yesterday, and it is already like massive.
There's no Zelda game, but there's 28,000 years in a Zelda community.
I love that they said that they're gonna allow for user-created communities. I don't really understand how it's gonna work, but that sounds really good to me. You know, to not be necessarily limited to the specific games, but to like whatever some user creates.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's going to have to be some restriction on it to get rid of all the duplicates that'll inevitably pop up. So I don't know what their idea is there, but we'll see. It's a cool idea. Oh my God.
Hey, don't worry about Cubits and Monster Hunter. You'll get plenty of Need for Speed. You have plenty of.
I was going to ask you about is that game also going to have those barriers? Is it also going to be?
No, it's going to be worldwide. I don't know what the specifics is with which games get it and which don't. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably going to be more like Black Ops.
That's interesting.
It's gonna be sweet. I'm ready to race, dude. Like, don't get it twisted. I mean, I love playing Black Ops. I love talking to y'all and, you know what I'm saying, playing games and winning and stuff like that. But, man, I'm ready to freaking burn some rubber and slay some dragons right now, dude.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and it's not that I'm burnt on Black Ops. It's just, you know, I'm ready to get into another online, you know what I'm saying, community. I'm just ready to do something different.
Well, for me, it means that I have a whole month where I should be working intensively for the Nintendo Enthusiast. But because right after that, I'm telling Minash probably, like, dude, don't expect me when Monster Hunter comes out. Like, that last time that happened was with Dragon's Dogma. The game came out, and I was missing, like, for, like, 10 days. Minash was like, are you still with us? I thought you quit. I don't know what's happening.
He said it's just a really good game. I loved it.
It's like, it's okay, Minash, I'm working on a review.
I did say that. I never published it. It's awful.
Oh, that's funny stuff. That's good stuff. Oh, man. Well.
So.
Yeah.
That was Need for Speed. That was a good topic.
Yeah, Need for Speed or Monster Hunter. Either way, next month there will be beasting.
Yes. How much time do we have left?
Well, we're up to 1 hour and 6, but I think I can clip like a few minutes off the start, so it's probably sitting around an hour.
Okay. Are we still going to talk about aliens?
I guess we could fit in a quickie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Y'all want me to start it off?
Let's go. Go for it.
Yeah, who has the strongest opinion?
Well, I'm going to say that mine's going to be up there. I was very much looking to Aliens U. I don't know. I've never played an Aliens game before. Just from what we had seen at E3's, the stuff they were talking about they were going to do on the gamepad with, sonar and or maybe not so much sonar, but like, you know what I'm saying, infrareds and crap like that. Just a lot of cool stuff seemed like it was coming out of that game. And then we were going to have another online multiplayer, and the single player looked dope. And, you know what I'm saying, it was just looking really, really solid. And about a month and a half ago, I saw a trailer for it, and I was like, what is this trash? I mean, this looks nothing like the game that I envisioned that was, you know what I'm saying, going to come out that I was so hyped for. I mean, it was a day one pre-order for me. I was going to get that. I was going to get Monster Hunter, and I was going to get Need for Speed. I don't know what I was going to do with my time, but I was going to figure out a way to play all three of them. And after this past 2 weeks, it's not even a blip on my, it's totally out of my mind. It ain't happening. I'm not buying it. I'm not going to get it. That's how I feel about it. It looks like junk, and I hate it because I think that Gearbox did put some time in it, but something has went horribly wrong there within the past 6 months. Anybody else got anything on that?
Have you read like all the drama that happened around the game?
I've read quite a bit of it, but I didn't immerse myself in it.
So the general gist of it is that Gearbox had been working on it for a long time, something about 5 or 6 years, I think. I may be wrong. And then they worked on it for several years, like 3 or 4 years. Then they had to hand it off to another studio, Time Gear or something. I'm not sure about the name. For them to finish, they outsourced it so that they could work on most of it while Gearbox worked on Borderlands 2. Then, Gearbox made Borderlands 2, so they asked to see Aliens back so that they could finish it. It turns out that the other studio had completely changed everything. They just changed it so much. They trashed everything that Gearbox had already made because they didn't agree with it. So when Gearbox took it back, they had nothing. They didn't like what the other studio did either, so they had to pretty much try to salvage what they had, try to take it back to where they had it before. And that's why you have like a huge difference between the demo you saw before, which was the game as they had it, and the game that it turned out to be now, which is just them quickly redoing everything that got thrown in the trash can.
I'll tell you something that really upsets me about that statement is you watch, can neither one of y'all tell me the head guy at Gearbox? Do y'all know his name?
Yeah,
Randy Pitchford.
Okay, Randy Pitchford, that's right. He was doing the demos of it at E3 this past year. That guy was pumped. I mean, he was excited about the game that he was making. And so that makes me really sad to hear what you just said, because that dude was going to get my money. I mean, that's just all there was to it. He was excited about it. It looked great. And for what I consider this abomination that's fixing to come out, or actually just did come out, that sucks.
So people have like different opinions on this. They don't know who to blame. One opinion is that Sega should have given them more time to finish this. The other opinion is that Randy Pitchford lied, and he is a prick for lying. The other opinion is that the other studio was the prick, because how can you throw away all the work that you are given when you're just being outsourced work yourself? So what I've heard about all of them is that, well, Sega told Gearbox to make it, so Gearbox has this responsibility, right? They take responsibility over the game. They have to see it finished. So it's irresponsible for Gearbox to send it off to the other studio. It's irresponsible of the other studio to take what they're given and throw it away and make other stuff that has nothing to do with it. And it's irresponsible of Gearbox to hand it off just because they're going to work on Borderlands 2. So you have like all these different things going on at the same time that really it's so hard to put the blame anywhere. It's just a bunch of people made poor decisions at every level in every place.
Yeah.
Well, being a person that's played Nintendo since the beginning, obviously, first off, I blame Sega. I actually blame Sega for just about everything that I can in life.
How can you not?
Yeah, I was about to say, obviously, I'm just joking about that. But now I haven't never been no big fan of Sega. But, it is sad what happened to that game because, man, I was really, really pumped for it after this past E3.
Yeah. Yeah, I was, seeing the Randy Pitchford interviews, and he was he's a guy who really, really loves the franchise. And, he's big on the aliens, and he saw all his potential in the Wii U version in particular. I mean, how could he not? It's one of those ports, like, if it were a port that would justify being on the Wii U, like, really, truly be the definitive version. And, and to see it go to, I think it was Timegate Studios. They were the guys who did Section 8 and the not-so-good expansions for the Fear games. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I played a little bit of the game. Actually, I played like a few hours of it because I was like, no, I'm gonna see what we're up against here. And what it looks like to me now, I have no idea whose assets are whose, which bits Gearbox was responsible for, or whatever.
Right.
But I'm seeing this immaculately represented world of the movie. It's like every little detail, like an upturned chair or something, you're like, I saw that in that scene in the movie. Like, they've gone through and the modelers have just gone nuts on the authenticity. And then they've just taken this thing, like a skin, and dragged it over Left 4 Dead. So that's why all the Xenos, I mean, they run down a hallway straight at you, like often on the ground, just running straight at you like zombies. And and then you just spam 1,000 bullets into them, and they die. Their blood doesn't hurt you, so there's no like danger of proximity. It doesn't feel like Aliens at all, even if it looks just like Aliens.
Wow, that's like, God, man, that's all. Well, I did read somewhere today, talking about what you was talking about, the Xenos, that the AI is like horribly broken. I read that today.
Yeah, they're meant to be the ultimate hunter, like, well, maybe not the ultimate hunter, I think that's Predator, but, well, that's a whole other game as well. But, they're meant to be, like, super dangerous on their own, but the only thing in the game is numbers. They just throw numbers at you, and it's ridiculous. It's more like a swarm or something, as opposed to, like, individually gonna hunt you down one at a time kind of death.
So basically now it's a very dumb horde mode.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so worrisome. I mean, I'm not getting it.
No.
When it goes down in price, like really cheap, it will go cheap so soon. At that point, I'll play it because you kind of have to. It's like
you want to see what went wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I don't
know. It sounds
playing games.
That is true. If there are other games, but to be honest, I have so many games on Steam that I bought because I have to play that, and then I haven't played it. So I'll do the same with this one. It's just gonna be sitting there.
Yeah.
I won't pay nothing for it. I mean, it's gone to me. And that's just the way that it is. It sucks. I mean, I do kind of hate it, like I said, for Randy Pitchford, because, man, he really sold the game to me at this past E3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think Gearbox is going to wear this failure.
I believe you're right.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the possibility that I think this lands on Sega's lap, but what do you think? Do you think they're going to sort of do the Razor's Edge treatment on it?
I don't think that's the thing though, because I've been playing it. I think that it can't be fixed because the problems with it are at the core of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't fix that without changing the weapons, the levels, like everything is set up in such a way that it's just the wrong game. I mean, I think the only thing which could save it is by reskinning the whole thing with zombies and changing it from a spaceship.
Wow.
Turn it into a zombie game, because that's what it is.
Holy crap.
So one thing I meant to mention that I never did was I was personally never interested in it much because I was more interested in Metro 2033. No, I'm sorry, Metro Last Light, the sequel. Yeah. And I always said, well, Aliens looks like that sort of, a single-player campaign game, that it's going to be focused on single-player campaign, but at the same time it's an aliens game, not an alien game. You know, it's a James Cameron sort of game, and that's not what I've always liked about the Alien franchise. But I was hoping Metro Last Light would make it, and when they announced that it didn't, I was like, well, at least we have aliens. Which is now tragic. That shouldn't be tragic. You know?
No, it should. I mean, it should be something that we're still really pumped about. You know what I'm saying? Or it actually we should be playing it right now instead of doing this podcast. You know, to be honest with you, because it would have just come out, and if it would have been the game that it was pitched to me at this past year's E3, we would be playing it right now. I actually might be talking to y'all on the phone on speaker while I played that game.
Especially because they hyped it so much for the Wii U. It was going to have all these amazing features. You know, you were going to be looking at your little radar thing, your sonar on your Wii U gamepad. Oh man, that sounded fun. Yes,
it was awesome. I mean, I loved watching that interview last year from E3. I thought it was amazing, and I've been hyped for it ever since. But now ain't nothing happening.
Yeah, and you know, there's talk that, and I actually believe this may be true, that they're just going to drop the Wii U version entirely now.
That sounds the most likely thing to me.
Because, actually this can bring us to another point in just a moment. I guess we could squeeze it in right after this. This will be a nice little segue. Because the Wii U version was delayed for some unknown reason, they were going to have to market it twice. They were going to have to market the game twice.
Right.
And that was going to be a cost which was not going to be worth it for a game with like this much crap stuck to it by now. Like,
right.
No one wants to touch it, and to waste money marketing it, even if it was already made, just shipping it out and selling it to people again was just going to lose them further money.
Yeah.
And I think, and that brings us neatly to, I think, the last thing, which I think is probably the hottest Wii U topic at the moment, even though it's been mired the last week. The Rayman Legends delay for the multi-platform.
I will say this about the Rayman Legends. If y'all two want to debate that pretty good, y'all can. That is a game that's never even been remotely on my radar. Burn me at the stake for that. But
I've
you're
just never
been
right.
interested in it.
That's an opinion I've heard often, though, that people are saying, I was only interested in this game because it was a launch title and because it was going to be one of the few games to get. It was basically, for many people, the game to get as a launch game, you know, while we waited for Mario or Metroid or Zelda or Retros or whatever.
Yeah. It's never been a huge franchise. It's never been a system seller.
And
ever.
I guarantee you, you know, Ubisoft has made the statement that they did this multi-platform game to accommodate, you know, the fans from the other platforms, to accommodate for Microsoft fans and Sony fans. And you know what? I don't think they care.
No,
not at all. In fact, the original, Rayman Origins was originally Wii exclusive and then became multi-platform. And I don't think the sales on the other platforms were anything to write home about, that's for sure.
No, what I read was that the Wii version sold the most.
Yeah,
and sold so well.
And by sticking a 6-month delay on a 3-month delay, the only thing they've done is pissed off the Wii users, their biggest user base.
And that's true. I'll say this for Rayman. I think that if it was how it was gonna sell on platforms, if I was to take a guess on it right now, just the way that the game is, number 1 would be the Wii U would sell the most, number 2 would be Sony, and number 3 would be Microsoft. Yeah. That's how I think that it would line up.
Yeah, and that's if it would have been sold right now in like January or February, but they pushed it back to September. You know, it's going to go against Mario Kart, Mario HD, whatever. It's going to go against GTA 5. Who is it going to sell to?
Yeah,
not me. It wasn't going to sell to me anyways.
Yeah. And the reason that they pushed it back was probably twofold. It was probably because they only wanted to market the game once, And it was probably, and the other reason was to wait for a little more of an installed user base. Those are the only two positives I can see for doing this, which are vastly outweighed by the negatives of basically eliminating your entire existing user base who are going to buy the game anyway.
Yeah, I mean, did y'all see the blow up on Miiverse?
Yeah.
I mean, I did not see it firsthand. I saw the post everywhere, but not on actual Miiverse.
Oh my gosh! And it got nasty.
Even apparently there was a picture of Michel Ancel standing with protesters outside Ubisoft HQ.
Wow.
Apparently the developers themselves, they really wanted they wanted the game to be out. They wanted the fans to react and have a great time and everything, and they've been screwed by the suits upstairs. That's the story, but I don't know if it's true, but it sounds right.
It sounds right. You know what else? I was talking to Menash about this. You know, we published that rumor that we heard from our guy about how, you know, it's possible that Beyond Good and Evil 2 got canned for every platform. Like, it just got trashed. It got cancelled, basically. Yeah. I was thinking, you know, that ties in perfectly with Michel Ancel, or however you pronounce that last name in French. That, you know, maybe that's part of what made him do that. You know, to sort of go against his own company by siding with the customers.
Yeah. It's a nice PR stunt if that's what it is.
I tell you what, Cubits Charles has got a good point whenever he says, I think that your first point is probably the best, is that they only wanted it to market it one time. That would make sense for the suits upstairs to make that call, because that's your number two, biggest expense in any business. And in some businesses, it's their first biggest expense. You know, so I mean I think that's a very valid point that you bring up, that that might be the reason why it did go multi-platform, because they were just like, well, screw it, we can, advertise it once. And you can see, big league corporate guys saying that kind of stuff, because from a dollars standpoint, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, the only risk is when you do slug your fans with that kind of weight, I guess.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they must have weighed it up. You know, every decision that's made in business is not. It's not like these publishers are like two guys sitting in a room. They've got entire buildings with like thousands of people who do every kind of market focus, everything. And so when anyone announced a decision like Nintendo says they're going to do whatever with online, and you have like all the forum guys getting all riled up, going, well, what they should have done is this. You know that these people have not they've not just done this stuff on a whim. None of this is done on a whim.
That's right.
And so they've put some large amount of analysis into this decision, and they've come out with saying, well, this is the best option according to what we've seen. So apparently it works out. It's their policy, and it's going to be better. But from us plebs on the ground, of course, it's nasty.
Oh yes. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were upset. You know what I'm saying? It will cost them sales.
They just must think it's worth it.
I guess. I mean, maybe what sales it cost them, from the Wii U users being upset, it'll gain them. You know what I'm saying? I guess they think they'll make it up on the 360 or the PS3. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or it may just even out, which would actually be tragic if that happened, because if it just evens out, then you could have actually had a really huge user base on one console instead of having three small user bases on three, because you made one of them extremely upset.
Yeah. I mean, the scary thing about if it evens out, well, not the scary thing, but I guess the forum baiting thing about if it only evens out with this kind of delay, that the hurt, the entire hurt is going to be on the Wii U sales, and then that'll get every moron on the internet saying that third parties are doomed.
I didn't even think about that. God, I dread that.
Here's one thing to think though, like you made the point that these decisions, they sound dumb to us, but they are obviously made by a lot of people, right? They're made by a lot of people. They talk about it. They have conferences. They make the best choice. But at the same time, I don't think you can ever deny that the people making these choices are doing them to impress investors in the short term. They're not necessarily thinking in a long term, not even probably to the end of the generation. So I think it's always valid to question their choices. It's difficult to get to the bottom of it because the conversations are always surrounded by all this doom talk or whatever, this fanboyism. But I think even when you get to the bottom of it, you do always find some executives making dumb choices just to look good and retire happily.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You also get, I think, like, companies maximizing their short-term gains. So they'll, like, go, well, we'll do whatever we can to maximize sales of this game for this franchise. If it sells well, then we'll think about making another one. If we cock it up, then we can bench it for 15 years, like they did with Rayman last time.
Or Prince of Persia.
Yeah. And, I mean, I think the same things happened with, I think, Dead Space 3, with that DLC malarkey in a single-player game. Which was...
Yeah. Not even DLC. Like, they just went all out and called it microtransactions.
Yeah. I mean, unlocking faster resource gaining in a single-player game for money? What?
Yeah.
And they came out with a really funny excuse, like, oh, we're building a mobile user base and they expect this to be in. Like, they're implying that people are going to be upset that you're not selling them stuff for money, as opposed to giving it to them for free. What is this?
I tell you something that blew my mind more than that, and actually it was the first case of this I ever heard, was obviously, Alex, me and you both like Dragon's Dogma, but that they sold the ending as downloadable content.
Really?
Oh, yeah. There was big time thing.
Well, what ending? Well, don't spoil it, I guess. I know the ending I played was that, I didn't have to pay for anything. I finished the game, and then you have that whole thing where you have to play through a lot of it again, and you have to beat harder monsters and stuff. And then you go to that... I can't spoil it, but I played a lot, and I don't think So one thing I know is that for like the first month, all DLC was free. So it could be that I actually played the ending without paying for it just because I bought it on launch day. But I didn't hear of that.
Hold on. I know that it was a Capcom game, and I'm almost positive that it was Dragon's Dogma, actually. I'm gonna look that up right now while I'm sitting here.
I know that Mass Effect 3, you look for it. Let me say, Mass Effect 3 did that sort of thing. They did this game, Mass Effect 3. It had, if you play the games, you know that the Proteans are kind of a big deal in the story. They are these like massive plot point, and they're like a huge lever in the third game as a plot point. And what they did was they sold as day one downloadable content a huge side story where you can play with a Protean. That's like if they sold a Lord of the Rings game and you had Saruman as a side quest DLC day one. It's absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like charging. Who was it? Was it EA who was charging for content that was actually on the disc? Or was that Capcom? That's Capcom.
That sounds like everyone.
Yeah.
They all do it now. It's all on disc DLC. But I think Capcom started it.
Yeah. Oh man, that was tragic.
Yeah, it was crazy. I can't find the exact story, but
I do remember what you said, but I don't remember it being about Dragon's Dogma. It could be a different game.
It could be. I know it's a Capcom, and I know that people were outraged.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that was
you have
crazy.
To buy the DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
for the ending of a game.
This might be what you're talking about. There was a game that if you buy it used, you don't get to see the ending. So you have to buy it new to see the ending.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
But that was like a year and a half ago at least, I think.
Yeah. I can't remember who brought in the, it might have been EA or Ubisoft, brought in the pay to the online pass thing.
Oh, like the season pass.
But no, it was like if you bought the game second hand, you could pay like $10 and then play it online, get an online license for it.
Yeah, that thing is just funny.
Yeah. Oh, I think I've lost Matt.
Like imagine if you buy a car used and it's like, oh, for another $1,000 you get the steering wheel.
Yeah, I think though. I mean, in terms of controlling like the second-hand market at all, like the used game market, I think that was one of the less invasive ways I've seen them do it. Great.
You know what's the best way to do it? Just do it like Steam, sell it digital, lower the price, and use as much DRM as you want. People don't complain so much about the DRM in Steam because it's so cheap to get games from them. Nobody cares anymore. The only people that complain about it are pirates.
All right.
Yep, and he's back. Yeah, we just lost you there for a second.
I'm trying to find out the answer. I don't know what happened. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Let's see. Never mind.
We might just look it up.
See,
for the
AG
next
was
one.
the one that told me about it, and he's actually online. But that'd be cool.
He might be away. Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Let me write that down so we can check it for the next podcast.
Yeah, just ask him because he's the one that told me about it, and it messed me up whenever he said it.
A game with a DLC ending. Day one.
Yeah, and it was a Capcom game. I do know that for sure.
Oh, maybe we can get him next week to talk about
what?
DMC, the game DMC.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry. That's a big topic.
Yeah.
Hey,
especially because. Go ahead.
Have you ever talked to AG about games?
He talks so much about games.
Dude is super deep. I mean,
he knows
I'm
about
serious,
games,
man. Yes, I mean, if you're like, hey, AG, do you want to come on and do a podcast about DMC? The episode should be called DMC, the entire history.
We can do that. I want to do it as a review for the site because we also have Kojima's game, Metal Gear Rising. Revengeance, Ultimate.
I love that. I love that title. The Revengeance thing.
It's so awful.
Yes, Revengeance.
Yeah, I mean, this is the bad. It's not just a revenge. It's not just a vengeance either. Okay.
It sounds like a sequel to Vengeance. It's like the Revengeance.
Yeah.
This time it's personaler.
That's great.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Although when that game was announced, and it was Platinum Games, and they showed like some guy using a PS3 controller to like slice watermelon up, and I was thinking, well, I can understand why this isn't coming to the Wii, but why isn't this coming to the Wii U Platinum Games?
Right.
Well,
now there's rumors.
Yeah, I hope. I mean, well, I think the big thing is even if it does come to the Wii U and we get,
we're going to use the Motion Plus.
It won't be able to use the Wiimote because it isn't a part of the core gameplay. Like it's it's tacked on essentially. Yeah. Well, it can't. It can't be turned into Red Steel 2. There would be too much work.
Right.
But we can only hope for a Red Steel 3, which leverages that sort of power.
Yeah. All right. Well, are we done? Whenever we lost me or what?
No.
No. Well, I guess we're pretty done-ish now. I think we're up to an hour and a half.
Yes, we have a lot of time now.
God, man, I could do this like every day.
It's very
no
easy,
kidding.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, I could sit here and I could talk gaming like this for, whew, man. I mean, that was way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's good. It's good stuff out there right now. I mean, there's good stuff to talk about, and you know what I'm saying. It's easy, definitely, to talk to y'all too about it. So it's good, man. I had a blast.
Yeah. This has been great.
You wanna like just finish off, and you can edit some stuff out, so we can just keep on talking about like the next week or something.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
we can just do it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People don't mind.
Yeah.
No one's gonna sit through like an hour and a half of podcast anyway to like get to that.
I think
man.
People do. No, people do. It's crazy to me.
I think. Well, what I'll do is I'll see if I can edit it down without it jumping all over the place, because I do prefer to do single takes to having cuts everywhere.
I'm a fan of like it being continuous.
Yeah. And I'll put like little bookmarks in for all the different topics. So if people want to skip from something to something, we can do that for them as well.
That sounds good. We're gonna have. We said we're gonna have footage, right, for the YouTube upload.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah, we can do that. I'll be able to, I don't know, steal some Dragon's Dogma footage. I don't know, some DLC crap. I'll find something.
Right.
Oh, and now Swan, sort of. Okay.
Some of Cubits' famous Black Ops videos.
Yeah, it'll speak. Well, don't worry. We'll do an hour and a half of Black Ops videos.
We can just play it throughout the week and be saving some of those videos. We have some of videos ourselves. We can just upload them and then you'll edit them or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, because I just hit record and then we just play for like 3 hours. I at least have a few 1.5 hour long just streams.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome!
Of murdering, or we could just get all of Matt's final kill cams and just put them together for half an hour.
Right, Evil Twins. We probably have like at least an hour of footage of Evil Twins kill cams.
Hey, now nowadays I'm gonna have to get me some diamond kill cams in there now.
That is true.
That's funny.
So should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone who actually watched this or listened to this, however you're seeing this, for was it an hour and a half or so now. We will be fiddling around with the format, obviously. You think so? I mean, yeah, we're going to fiddle around with it a bit.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
I think it'd be really cool.
That's pretty good.
I think it'd be really cool if we could do some like little like podcast splits. Like just pick a subject, like I don't know, Capcom, and then just like
go on that alone.
We could do like little like subject-based ones, like sort of things which aren't news per se, but are just sort of like constantly there.
And that sounds really good to me. We used to do that actually. Me and Menash at some point, we would have conversations in the chat box, in the chat room, and we'd realize after like half an hour of solid conversation, like, man, we've written a lot about a single subject. Let's just copy this and paste it on the front page. So this sounds even better. Like we suddenly have a subject. We go on Skype. We do this